massive harbor. Well, the harbor now, substantially smaller. Boston, 75% bigger. Here's what they did. The Shawmut Peninsula was very hilly, very rocky, not good for farming. So the colonists turned around, they took a look at the harbor, the bay, the ocean beyond, and they said, fine, we don't need to farm the land, we'll farm the ocean. They became fishermen. And if you're going to fish, you need ships. You'll notice that fishing and shipbuilding is all waterfront property, all waterfront business. Well, Boston, the Shawmut Peninsula, did not have a whole lot of waterfront, so they began to build out the city. You look along the waterfront here and you see all these wharves. Every single one of these wharves used to be a whole lot longer. They reached way out into the deep water, and then they would build a wall in between the wharves up towards the beginning, connecting them. Then they would push dirt into that space, displacing the water, creating land. They would build another wall further down, they'd push in more dirt, creating more land, and this became known over the next 400 years as the wharfing out of Boston. Again, naming it for the obvious. They were just building land down the wharves out towards the very end. Not all the way to the end, or they wouldn't have any wharves yet. But there are many wharves that have now been completely swallowed up by land, and I'll talk about that a little bit further on in the tour. But 75% of this land is all man-made land. It's absolutely extraordinary. And all you're going to see along the shoreline of this tour are wharves, piers, those are obviously man-made, and you're going to see a wide variety of rock retaining walls. And every time you see a rock retaining wall of any sort, you're looking at man-made land. And that is all you're going to see along the shoreline of this entire tour. So we'll come back to that a little bit later on. We'll talk about where all that dirt came from, because I know you're trying to do the calculations in your mind. Don't hurt yourself. I'll take care of that a little bit later on. Right now, because we have friends visiting from London who outed themselves, and you're not the only ones. I heard a British accent go by me a little bit earlier, and it wasn't you. So I know we're under siege here. But if you look off to the right now, you'll see that rusty iron bridge, and it's conveniently stuck in the open and broken position. And that allows us a view down Fort Point Channel, home to Griffin's Wharf, the very site of the Boston Tea Party. You knew we were going there. The Boston Tea Party took place on the night of December 16, 1773, when the colonists came down and they boarded 3 Nantucket merchant ships, and they dumped 92,000 pounds of tea into Boston Harbor, all the while proclaiming no taxation without representation. Very good. So 92,000 pounds of tea went overboard into the harbor, and they accomplished several things. One, they poisoned all the fish. Tea and fish, no, they don't get along. This is why we drink coffee in Boston. They also proved that we don't know how to make a decent cup of tea.